Hi, everybody. I am going to read my testimony to you a couple days ago. So here's the thing, y'all. When God wants me to do something, He'll keep putting it on my mind and keep putting it on my mind. And then I'll be like, okay, God, I'll do what you tell me to do. So I started writing, and the words just came. And He wants me to give you this video. So let's get started. As a third grade teacher, I experienced depression, anxiety, loneliness, and darkness. I went through a phase where I was apathetic to my own feelings and suppressed them. I would stop eating lunch as a way to punish myself. I internalized so many behaviors. If you're a teacher, you know what I'm talking about. And I found fault in myself. My thoughts were dark, and I would conjure up ways to hurt my body. I would fall into a mental hole of negativity. I walked through the halls, and my joy had been ripped away from me. The devil tried to take me out. I faced a mental battle every single day. I didn't feel supported by my team. I only told one person about my diagnosis. I kept it hidden. I lied. I would come into work some days and they would ask, "How are you?" I would say, "Okay." I would compare myself to my teammates and I felt like a failure. I was triggered on the daily basis. I was afraid, I was anxious, my world was changing. A new grade, a new team, a new principal. One day, a coworker noticed something off about me, and she told the school counselor to check on me. I was thankful that she did because she may have saved my life. I told the counselor more about my story and explained that it wasn't just the stress of teaching that was eating me from the inside out. It was deeper. I realized that in that moment, I did not value my life. Just that week, I had probably thought of 3 to 4 ways to do harm to my body while kids were in front of me. I hid behind my blank stares so they never knew. I talked to the counselor and she put a name to what I was going through: depression. She encouraged me to get help. She was worried about me. I told her about my fears of mental health, my fears of going to a hospital, not seeing my students, being called crazy. But that day, I decided to value me a little bit more. She gave me different options, and I said yes. My coworker friend and mother followed me to my house and Crisis came. Crisis is basically a organization that connects people who are going through just mental battles to different resources. It actually went better than expected. She gave me some resources and contact information and a list of strategies. The next day, I took a much needed and long overdue mental health day. I searched for counselors to go to, and my boyfriend Eric helped me on my journey. The first one I went to, I realized they were all about medication. I wanted a more holistic approach, so I'm kind of glad it did not pan out. The lady at this particular counseling center did connect me with Soul Care Christian Counseling. She had no idea that I was a Christian, but God knew what I needed. Eric took me there and I went in for an assessment that day. I met with a black guy who actually also was a pastor. He gave me a list of affirmations about what God says about me. I read them daily, and a week later, I met with a black female therapist. Now, this is literally my fourth or fifth therapist, and I really wanted a black one. So I was like, I want a black therapist. I began to share my story with her, and she gave me my first homework assignment. We started creating affirmations to combat my negative thinking. And y'all, my list of negative thinking was like 10 to 12 things that I thought of on the daily basis. My first affirmation to my negative thought was, it's okay to make mistakes. Imagine telling yourself day in and day out, it's not okay to make a mistake. You made another mistake. Oh my gosh. That was me walking through the halls as a third grade teacher just a couple of months ago. So that was my first affirmation. It's okay to make mistakes. We worked through my other self-depreciating thoughts, and we worked together to form more affirmations. She told me to say it, write it down, and believe it. At first, and this happened with all my affirmations, I did not believe them. And I was a little skeptical. But eventually I did it. I said my affirmations. I tried to say them daily. When the negative thought would come, I would hit it with the affirmation, all in my head. Mental battle, y'all. I believed, and my mindset about myself changed. I was doing really well when darkness started to creep back in. I was at work late, and I can't even remember what I was overthinking about. But I tried to talk to my coworker to distract myself. It didn't work. I didn't tell her my truth. I went back to the classroom and erased 2 parts of my skin. I took the eraser and just kept rubbing and rubbing until I felt pain, but not too much pain. The wounds were worse off than I thought it would be. It took weeks to heal. I just wanted to feel the pain. I just wanted to feel what was going on in my head in that moment. My thoughts seemed out of control. I talked to my counselor, we uncovered my thoughts, and I started taking more of my anxiety medicine. Honestly, not taking the medicine at times when I needed it would be a form of self-harm. My counselor suggested going to the doctor for other medicine that would help me to use the skills that she was teaching me. I was hesitant, but about 3 weeks later, I went in and I told my doctor what happened. She said that I may need something more consistent. I told her that I had been to see a therapist every week, which was really a part of her doctor's orders to begin with. It took me years upon years to tell my family physician about anxiety that I was experiencing. She was very supportive when I told her about a year ago. She told me to get counseling, to take the medicine as needed, but my anxiety did get worse. Not mine, the devil's, because I'm not going to claim it. At first, the new medicine she gave me made me sleepy. But as it started to level my brain imbalances, it has allowed me to use the tools from my counselor and grow in my faith so much. I am thankful that God provided the help for my mind that I needed. I can hear Him and His truths more clearly. My presence at work meetings went through a dramatic change too. In the beginning of the year, I was uncomfortable with my own Black presence in meetings. I felt bad for speaking my mind. I felt that my coworkers feared me because I was Black and didn't always agree with them. I felt less than, broken, a flunky, overwhelmed, stupid, and an outcast. The negative lies I told myself could go on and on. God saved me from myself. He gave me my voice again. He connected me with the church that helped me to reignite my faith. I started reading the Bible more consistently in February. Pastor Troy told us to read the book of Proverbs. I read a book a day, a chapter a day, and continued through Bible apps to help build my faith and connection with God. God used people, things, apps, and even nature to help change me. I began listening to pastors more, praise music, and reading. I have been praying more, and I am so thankful for God's grace